Relationships are meant to nourish us. They are meant to support our growth, provide comfort in times of need, and enrich our lives with companionship, love, and understanding. But what happens when a relationship begins to drain us, compromise who we are, or prevent us from living a life of integrity and virtue? What if the people closest to us, friends, family, even long-time partners, become sources of constant stress, misalignment, or emotional harm? The Stoics, those ancient philosophers who taught us the art of living a life guided by reason, virtue, and inner tranquility, offer timeless guidance for navigating these difficult waters. They remind us that relationships, no matter how socially or emotionally binding, must never compromise our core principles, self-respect, or peace of mind. They teach us that our ultimate responsibility is to ourselves, to live a life aligned with virtue, reason, and meaning. In this video, we will explore 11 clear signs that indicate it may be time to end a relationship, even if it is with a family member, a long-time friend, or someone who has been a part of your life for years. These signs are not about being selfish or cruel. They are about living with integrity, protecting your well-being, and honoring the Stoic principles that guide us toward a meaningful life. 1. The relationship compromises your core values. Let's start with the most fundamental red flag. When a relationship asks you to compromise your deepest values. Values are the foundation of who we are. They shape our decisions, influence our behavior, and guide us in how we navigate the world. When someone asks you to act in ways that contradict your principles, it is more than uncomfortable. It is corrosive. The Stoics taught that integrity is non-negotiable. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that living in alignment with virtue is the surest path to a meaningful life. Epictetus reminded us that external circumstances, other people, events, pressures, should never dictate our adherence to our principles. Seneca warned that when we betray our core values, we begin to lose ourselves, little by little, moment by moment. Compromising your values in a relationship can start subtly. It may be small concessions at first, telling a white lie to appease someone, withholding your true opinion, or ignoring your personal boundaries. Over time, these small compromises accumulate, eroding your sense of self, self-respect, and identity. Ask yourself, does this relationship allow me to be fully aligned with my principles? Does it honor who I am at my core, or does it pull me away from my path? Ending a relationship that demands the betrayal of your values is not selfish. It is courageous. It is an affirmation that your integrity is more important than temporary comfort, approval, or obligation. 2. The relationship is one-sided, lack of reciprocity. Reciprocity is the invisible engine of any healthy relationship. It is the balance of giving and receiving, the understanding that a relationship should uplift both parties. When the balance is off, when you are constantly giving and rarely receiving, you are facing a dangerous imbalance. Stoicism teaches us that we should contribute to the well-being of others, yes, but never at the expense of our own well-being. A relationship where one person carries the emotional, mental, or material burden while the other passively consumes is not just unhealthy, it is unsustainable. Signs of a one-sided relationship include: you always reach out first. Your efforts are rarely acknowledged. You feel drained, used, or underappreciated. The other person expects support, but gives little in return. This imbalance can breed resentment, exhaustion, and even bitterness. It can also foster entitlement in the other person, creating a dynamic where growth and contribution are stifled. In Stoic philosophy, harmony is essential. The ideal relationship supports virtue, mutual growth, and alignment with a life well lived. If a relationship is persistently unbalanced, it is a clear signal to reflect deeply. Am I respecting myself by allowing this imbalance to continue? Am I respecting the other person by enabling a dynamic that prevents their growth? Sometimes, addressing the imbalance may involve honest communication, setting boundaries, or asking for more engagement. Other times, it is a signal that the relationship has run its course and must end. 3. There is abuse. Physical, emotional, or psychological. Abuse is an unequivocal red flag. Stoicism places immense value on dignity, self-respect, and the inherent worth of every human being. Abuse, whether it is physical, emotional, verbal, or psychological, is fundamentally incompatible with these principles. It violates the trust, safety, and respect that every relationship should be built upon. The Stoics remind us that our first responsibility is to ourselves. While Stoicism often emphasizes endurance and acceptance, it never asks us to tolerate harm that diminishes our integrity or destroys our peace of mind. When abuse is present, the path is clear. Seek help and remove yourself from the harmful situation. Ending an abusive relationship is neither weakness nor failure. It is strength in action. It is an affirmation of self-worth and a commitment to living a life aligned with virtue. Seek guidance from trusted friends, family, or professional resources. Stoicism encourages seeking wisdom and assistance in the pursuit of a good life. Remember, abuse seeks to control, diminish, and instill fear. The Stoic response is not revenge, but reclamation, reclaiming your dignity, self-respect, and freedom to live a virtuous, meaningful life. 4. Communication breaks down. Repeatedly, failed communication is often a symptom of deeper problems. When attempts to talk, share, or resolve issues consistently fail, it signals a fundamental misalignment in understanding, empathy, or willingness to engage. Effective communication is the lifeblood of any meaningful relationship. Marcus Aurelius advised approaching life's challenges with reason and clarity. This same reasoning applies to communication. Take a step back, remove emotional bias, and assess the situation objectively. Questions to ask: are both parties willing to listen, understand, and respond? Am I expressing my thoughts clearly and respectfully? Are there recurring patterns of misunderstanding, avoidance, or hostility? If communication consistently fails despite effort, the relationship may not be capable of supporting the growth, trust, and connection essential for a healthy bond. Stoicism teaches that clarity, honesty, and empathy are foundational, not optional. Persisting in a relationship devoid of effective communication risks frustration, misunderstanding, and emotional stagnation. Sometimes, walking away is the wisest course. 5. The relationship disturbs your inner peace. Peace of mind is one of the most treasured assets a Stoic can cultivate. Relationships should enrich life, not constantly disrupt your equanimity. A relationship that leaves you anxious, stressed, or unsettled on a continual basis signals a misalignment with your pursuit of tranquility. The Stoics taught that inner calm is not merely a luxury. It is essential for rational decision-making, moral clarity, and living a good life. Ask yourself, does this relationship leave me feeling drained, tense, or anxious? Are my boundaries regularly crossed, leaving me emotionally compromised? Do I feel like I'm constantly walking on eggshells? If the answer is yes, it may be time to pause and reflect. Stoicism encourages assessing the situation rationally. Can the relationship improve through dialogue or boundary setting? Or is it inherently disruptive? Sometimes, ending a relationship is the necessary step to preserve your peace and maintain your ability to live virtuously. 6. There is constant negativity or criticism. Constructive feedback is essential in any relationship, but when criticism becomes constant, harsh or undermining, it can erode self-esteem and distort self-perception. The Stoics believed in cultivating resilience, self-awareness, and reasoned judgment. They also recognized that the company we keep influences our mindset. A relationship dominated by negativity or harsh judgment limits growth and can cloud our rational faculties. Signs include frequent put-downs or insults, a pattern of dismissing your achievements or opinions, a lack of encouragement or support for your goals. If negativity outweighs positivity consistently, it is a clear sign that the relationship is harming your well-being. The Stoic approach is to recognize your worth, set boundaries, and disengage from those who perpetually drain your spirit. 7. There is a pattern of dishonesty or manipulation. Trust is the cornerstone of any meaningful relationship. Without it, connections become unstable, unpredictable, and unsafe. Dishonesty and manipulation, whether subtle or overt, signal a lack of respect for your autonomy, intelligence, and dignity. Stoicism teaches that virtue, honesty, and rational action are fundamental to a good life. Associating with those who repeatedly deceive or manipulate undermines your pursuit of virtue. Observe patterns, not isolated incidents. Are promises frequently broken? Do you feel misled or manipulated repeatedly? Are your decisions influenced through guilt, fear, or coercion? Recognizing these patterns and acting decisively to remove yourself is not cruelty. It is rational self-preservation aligned with Stoic principles. 8. The relationship encourages dependency. Relationships should promote growth, independence, and self-actualization. When a relationship fosters emotional, financial, or psychological dependency, it creates imbalance and limits the freedom and autonomy both individuals deserve. Stoicism emphasizes self-reliance, reason, and resilience. A dependent dynamic, whether one-sided or mutual, can erode these qualities, leading to stagnation and frustration. Ask yourself, does this relationship limit my personal development? Do I feel trapped or obligated beyond reason? Does the other person avoid taking responsibility or rely excessively on me? If yes, the relationship may be hindering, not supporting, your journey toward virtue and self-mastery. 9. There is repeated betrayal or disrespect. Repeated betrayals of trust, confidence, or boundaries signal fundamental incompatibility. Stoicism teaches us to value dignity, self-respect, and rational judgment. Repeated offenses indicate that respect is not mutual and that the relationship is incompatible with a virtuous life. Reflection questions. Has forgiveness been asked for and granted previously, but violations continue? Is the person unwilling to change destructive patterns? Do repeated transgressions leave you feeling diminished or devalued? When betrayal becomes a recurring pattern, ending the relationship is an act of rational self-preservation, protecting your inner virtue and peace. 10. The relationship limits your growth. Growth is essential. Every relationship should challenge and support you in becoming the best version of yourself. Stoicism emphasizes the pursuit of wisdom, virtue, and excellence. If a relationship consistently discourages, distracts, or limits your personal growth, it is counterproductive. Consider, are your goals, ambitions, and passions dismissed or ridiculed? Does the relationship encourage complacency or stagnation? Do you feel like you are shrinking rather than expanding in this connection? When a relationship impedes your growth, walking away may be the Stoic choice, allowing space for more meaningful, virtuous, and enriching connections. 11. You feel constantly drained or unfulfilled. Finally, if a relationship consistently leaves you exhausted, unhappy, or unfulfilled, it is a clear indicator that it no longer serves your well-being. Stoicism teaches that while life requires endurance and acceptance, we must also recognize when circumstances or people are toxic to our mind, body, and soul. Signs include emotional exhaustion after interactions, a sense of relief when the person is absent, persistent unhappiness tied to the relationship. In such cases, ending the relationship is not a failure. It is a deliberate, rational choice to preserve your energy, maintain inner calm, and cultivate a life aligned with virtue and meaning. Conclusion: ending a relationship, whether it is with a friend, partner, or even family member, is never easy. Emotions, obligations, and social expectations can make the decision feel overwhelming. Yet Stoicism teaches us that our first responsibility is to ourselves, to live a life of virtue, integrity, and peace. When relationships compromise your values, erode your self-respect, disturb your tranquility, or impede your growth, walking away is not selfish. It is rational. It is an affirmation of your worth, an exercise in self-respect, and a step toward a life of meaning, virtue, and inner calm. By applying the Stoic principles of reflection, rationality, integrity, and tranquility, we can navigate the difficult terrain of human relationships with clarity, courage, and wisdom. Every step toward ending a harmful relationship is a step toward honoring yourself, embracing growth, and cultivating connections that truly enrich your life. Remember, the quality of your life is inseparable from the quality of your relationships. Seek connections that uplift, support, and align with your values. Release those that drain, diminish, or distort your path. In doing so, you not only honor the wisdom of the Stoics, but also create the space for a life of profound meaning, joy, and fulfillment. The journey toward meaningful relationships is ongoing. It requires self-awareness, courage, and deliberate choices. But with Stoic wisdom as your guide, you can navigate this journey with clarity, strength, and purpose. One decision, one relationship, one step at a time.